They said legends don't return. They said icons fade away. But then, the Supra came back. And in 2026, it has become something more. Not just a sports car.
Note juste à comeback story. But à supercar. The GR Supra Supercar 2026 ici.
And it is ready to silence every doubt. Ready to redefine what it means to wear the Supra badge. For decades, the Supra has carried a reputation.
Born in the shadow of racing culture.
Raised on the streets and tracks where legends are made. It wasn't just a car. It was a symbol. Of speed. Of power.
Of precision.
And most importantly, of belief. Belief that Japan could create a machine capable of standing shoulder to shoulder with Europe's finest. The old Supra did that. It became a legend in movies, in games, in garages, and in hearts. But now, the GR Supra Supercar 2026 takes that legacy and turns it into fire. The bodywork is sharper. The stance is lower. The presence is undeniable. From the moment you see it, you know this isn't just an evolution.
It's a révolution.
The front end is a declaration of war. Aggressive LED headlights pierce the night. A sculpted hood channels air with military precision. Every line, every vent, every curve is functional. Aerodynamics have been studied, refined, perfected.
The seat cut through the air like blades.
The rear is muscular, wide, unapologetic.
A massive diffusé hug the ground. Twin exhaust roar like thunder. And the spoiler?
It isn't for show. It's for domination. Every inch of this car is built for purpose.
For speed. For handling. For control.
But it's not just the looks.
It's what lies beneath. Underneath the sculpted shell beats the heart of a monster. A turbocharged inline-six.
Upgraded. Reinforced. Enhanced with hybrid electric assistance. Because the GR Supra Supercar 2026 isn't afraid of the future. It embraces it. The hybrid system isn't here to save fuel. It's here to deliver power.
Instant torque. Explosive accélération. A fusion of mechanical muscle and electric fury.
Together, they unleash over 700 horsepower. Numbers that once belonged only to hypercars. Numbers that make the Supra a rival not just to sports cars, but to the world's greatest machines. The sound is unmistakable.
The inline-six teasing.
But now, it has backup. Electric motors that whir with urgency. A symphony of old and new.
A balance of heritage and technology.
When you launch it, time bends. 0 to 60 disappears in under 3 seconds.
The horizon rush forward.
Your body is pinned. The tires claw at the asphalt.
The world blur.
And yet, control remains absolute. Because speed without control is chaos. But the GR Supra is not chaos. It is precision. Toyota's engineers have sculpted its chassis like an artist sculpts marble. Every bolt, every weld, every suspension arm is tuned for balance.
For connexion.
So that when you grip the wheel, you don't just drive it. You feel it. Every input is translated instantly. Every corner is an invitation. Every straight is a challenge. The Supra does not forgive hesitation. It rewards commitment. It rewards passion. And it rewards bravery. Because when you push it, it pushes back. And together, driver and machine reach something extraordinary. Inside, the cockpit is pure focus.
No distraction.
No clutter. Every control angled toward the driver.
Every display precise and minimal.
It feels less like a car, more like a weapon. Seats hug you like armor. The steering wheel feels alive.
Paddle click with authority. And the HUD?
It projects speed, revs, gears right into your vision.
So your eyes never leave the road.
Because in this car, every second matters. Every fraction of a second. Even the materials tell a story. Carbon fiber trims the cabin. Alcantara wraps the seats. Aluminum details gleam under ambient lighting. It feels futuristic, but familiar. New, but rooted in heritage. And that is the Supra's magic. It doesn't abandon what made it great. It builds upon it. It takes the spirit of the 90s legend and injects it into a body built for 2026. This is not nostalgia.
This is evolution. This is the Supra reborn as something greater.
As something feared.
As something respected.
And on the track, respect is everything. Because the GR Supra Supercar 2026 is not a garage queen. It's not built for posters on walls. It's built for battle. It eats corners. It devours straights. It dances with physics. It laughs at limits. And when it crosses the line, it leaves rivals gasping. Because this isn't just Toyota's return to form. This is Toyota's declaration that it belongs at the top. That Japan's greatest icon has been reborn.
And the world will never be the same.
The racetrack is its playground.
Every corner atteste.
Every straight a statement.
And the GR Supra Supercar 2026 never whisper.
It screams. It roars. It declares itself with every lap. This isn't a car that pretends to be a supercar. It is one. From its reinforced chassis to its active aerodynamics, every detail is crafted for war on the tarmac. It approaches the first corner, the adaptive spoiler rises. Downforce increases.
The tir bitardé.
The car squats low, preparing for battle.
The driver flicks the wheel.
And the Supra obeys instantly.
No hésitation.
No delay.
Just pure, mechanical trust. Through the apex, balance is perfect.
The hybrid system distributes torque like a conductor leading an orchestra.
The rear wheel push. The front wheel grip. The cadence.
And as it exits, the full force of its power erupts.
The inline-six roar. The electric motors surge.
Together, they create a punch that feels unstoppable.
The straight stretches ahead. The rev climb. The world turn into a blur.
And still, the Supra remains calm. Stable.
Unshaken.
Because this is what it was born for. This is its natural environment. Lap after lap, it delivers the same intensity. No fade. No compromise.
Just relentless performance.
It's here that you realize the truth. The Supra is no longer chasing anyone. Not the Germans. Not the Italians.
Not the Americans.
It has arrived. It has planted its flag. It has said without apology, I belong here. And I am here to stay. Because performance isn't just about speed. It's about endurance.
And the GR Supra Supercar 2026 doesn't juste sprint.
It lasts. Cooling systems designed with racing in mind keep temperatures in check. Lightweight construction means less strain, more efficiency.
And the hybrid system?
It recovers energy as it moves, ensuring constant power. This isn't just technology for the sake of numbers. It's technology that wins races. Technology that changes outcomes. And when you line it up against rivals, the truth is undeniable. Against a Porsche 911 Turbo, it doesn't flinch.
Against a Ferrari Roma, it doesn't hesitate. Against a McLaren Artura, it doesn't blink.
Because this Supra was not built to play second. It was built to fight first. To challenge everything that came before it. To rewrite expectations. And it does so with confidence. With swagger. With fire. But what makes it truly special is not just its numbers.
It's the way it feels.
Because numbers are cold. But driving is alive. It's emotional.
And when you drive a Supra, emotion takes over. The wheel feel heavy, deliberate.
The pedals respond like extensions of your body.
The feedback is raw.
The sensation is addictive. It's like plugging into something greater than yourself. Like becoming part of a legend.
The Supra doesn't juste transport you.
It transforms you. It reminds you why you fell in love with cars in the first place. Not for efficiency. Not for practicality. But for passion.
For the way speed makes your atras. For the way sound shake your chest. For the way a perfect corner feel like flying.
The GR Supra Supercar 2026 delivers all of it. And more. Because it doesn't just carry the weight of its own name. It carries the weight of expectation. From fans. From critics.
From the world.
The Supra has always been more than just metal and bolts. It has been culture. It has been identity. It has been a dream. And Toyota knew this when they built it. They didn't just build a car. They built a statement. That the spirit of the 90s icon isn't dead. It's alive. It's faster.
It's stronger.
It's sharper. It's here. And it's wearing the name Supra proudly. The racing DNA bleeds through everything it does. From the way the exhaust pops on downshifts.
To the way the suspension stiffen in track mode.
To the way the car breathes when it's pushed to the edge.
This is not comfort.
This is not luxury.
This is raw. This is pure.
This is what driving is meant to feel like. Every lap is a story. Every straight is a rush. Every corner is a battle.
And in every battle, the GR Supra Supercar 2026 émergeait victorieux.
Because it was designed to. Because it was destined to.
Because legends don't fade.
They evolve. And the Supra has evolved into something extraordinary. A machine that makes you believe again.
Believe in power. Believe in precision. Believe in passion.
And believe that the Supra will always be more than just a car. It will always be a legend. Design is not just how a car looks. Design is how a car feels before you even start it. It's the silent conversation between machine and human. And the GR Supra Supercar 2026 speaks fluently.
From the very first glance, it grabs you.
Its silhouette is unmistakable. Long hood. Short rear. A profile that screams speed even while standing still. The stance is aggressive, planted, predatory. It doesn't wait for your approval.
It demands it.
The front end is a masterpiece of aggression.
Sharp lead eyes star a red like a hunter.
Every vent carved with purpose.
Every angle cutting the air like a blade.
The hood breathes with sculpted channels that guide air like rivers. Not wasted. Not decorative. Functional. Because beauty in this car is born from necessity. The sides are muscular, wide arches bulging with power. They tell you this car isn't fragile.
It isn't delicate.
It's strong. It's alive. It's ready. The rear is a theater of intimidation.
Twin exhaust scream authority. A carbon diffusé grip the road like claw.
And a spoiler rises not as an ornament but as a weapon. Every design choice makes a statement.
Every curve whisper speed.
Every line dares you to resist. But the 2026 Supra is not just for those who look at it. It's for those who step inside. Because the interior is where connection is made. The cockpit is designed like a fighter jet.
Minimal.
Focused. Driver-centric.
The wheel feel alive in your hand.
Thick, responsive, wrapped in Alcantara that grips your palms. The paddle shifters snap with precision, reminding you that every gear change is a decision. Not casual.
Not automatic.
Intentional. The seats embrace you like armor. Bolstered for corners. Comfortable enough for the long haul. They hold you in place when the G-forces arrive. Because in this car, they will. The materials tell their own story. Carbon fiber stretches across the dash.
Aluminum accent glisten under soft ambilighting. Alcantara drapes the doors, reminding you this is no ordinary interior. Every texture purposeful.
Every surface intentional. Every detail crafted with care. This isn't luxury for the sake of luxury. This is luxury born from performance. Even the screens have been designed with discipline.
No distraction.
No gimmicks. A clean digital cluster gives you exactly what you need: speed, revs, gears.
And nothing more. A head-up display project vital information onto the windshield, so your eyes never leave the road.
Because in a car this fast, every fraction of a second counts. The infotainment system is there, sleek and responsive. But it doesn't dominate.
It doesn't steal the spotlight.
The Supra is about driving, not browsing. Every part of the interior reminds you that you are the focus. That you are the pilot. That this machine is built to respond to you, and only you. The sound system is there, crisp and powerful. But let's be honest, the only soundtrack you'll ever want is the roar of the inline-six.
And Toyota knew this.
That's why the cabin is tuned for acoustics.
Not to block out the sound.
To amplify it. To deliver it. So that every downshift echoes.
Every acceleration thunder. Every rev makes your pulse kicken.
The design philosophy of the 2026 Supra is simple. Form follows function. But function follows passion. Every angle, every vent, Every stitch has meaning.
Nothing wasted.
Nothing added without reason. And this philosophy creates something rare. A car that looks like art, but performs like a weapon. A car that turns heads, but grips hearts. Because this Supra was not designed in isolation. It was built from heritage. It remembers the Mk4. It remembers the culture that made the Supra a legend. And it honors it. But it also dares to be bold. To be modern. To embrace technology, aerodynamics, and electrification without losing soul. This is not a retro throwback.
This is not a nostalgia project. This is evolution. This is progress.
This is Toyota saying, we will not live in the past. We will shape the future. And they have. Because when you look at the Supra 2026, you see more than a car.
You see an idea.
An idea that cars can still stir the soul. That machines can still be art. That passion still matters in an age of efficiency. And when you sit inside, buckle in, and hear the engine roar, you don't just drive. You become part of that idea. Part of that future. Part of that legend. Because driving the Supra is not about going from A to B. It's about everything in between.
The way you're at race when you launch. The way you're en Titan on the wheel before a corner. The way you're chest chaque when the exhaust crack on vérin.
It's about feeling alive.
Truly alive.
And that is why this car exists. Not to be efficient. Not to be practical. But to remind us. To remind us of why we love cars. Why we dream of them. Why posters used to hang on bedroom walls.
Why racing game made US believe.
Why movies made legends. The Supra 2026 is not just a car. It is a dream reborn.
A dream you can touch. A dream you can drive.
A dream you can hear, smell, and feel. And dreams this powerful don't fade. They last. They inspire. They ignite. And the Supra Supercar 2026 is proof of that.
The world of supercar is ruthless. Every brand wants a crown.
Every machine is built to dominate.
Ferrari, Porsche, McLaren.
These names don't play games. They build weapons. And for decades, people wondered, could the Supra ever stand among them? In 2026, the answer is yes. Not only stand, but fight. And in some ways, win. Because the Supra isn't chasing anyone anymore. It's creating its own lane. Against Ferrari, the Supra brings something different.
The Roma glide with elegance. The 296 GTB strike with hybrid precision.
But the Supra? It roars with rawness. It delivers Japanese engineering sharpened by racing DNA. It doesn't try to imitate. It doesn't try to be Italian. It tries to be Supra. And that makes it
dangereux.
Against Porsche, the story is respect. The 911 has always been the gold standard. Balance.
Engineering perfection.
Generations of refinement. But the GR Supra Supercar 2026 isn't intimidated.
It meets the 911 Turbo Sedan.
Matching its speed. Matching its precision. But offering something Porsche cannot. Emotion. A wildness.
En intamed spirit.
Because while the Porsche is surgical, the Supra is alive. It shakes. It growls. It excites. It makes you feel. Against McLaren, the challenge is futurism.
The Artura bring hybrid technology. Lightweight engineering. Aerodynamic obsession.
But the Supra refuses to be overshadowed. It fights with its own hybrid fury. Its electric motors unleash torque instantly. Its chassis grips like claws. Its bodywork slices the air with ruthless efficiency. And it does all this without losing identity. Because the Supra isn't just technology. It's tradition. It's a balance of old and new. And that balance gives it something rare.
Soul.
Every rival brings power. Every rival brings speed. But not every rival brings character. And the Supra has character in abundance.
You can feel it in the way it accelerates.
You can hear it in the roar of the inline-six. You can see it in the way it hunkers down before a corner. This is not just data on a spec sheet. This is personality.
This is charisma.
This is what makes a legend.
And legends don't bow down.
They rise. They fight. They prove themselves. which is exactly what the GR Supra Supercar 2026 does. On the drag strip, it launches with fury. 0 to 60 in under 3 seconds. Quarter-mile in numbers that rival exotics. On the track, it devours corners. Lap times that silence doubters. Grip that defies logic. Braking that feels like gravity itself has intervened. On the streets, it turns heads before it even passes. People stop. People stare. Because they know. They know they're looking at something special.
Something rare. Something inforgettable.
And that's what puts the Supra in the same breath as Ferrari, Porsche, and McLaren. Not just numbers.
Not juste performance.
But presence. Because presence is power. Presence makes rivals nervous before the race even begins. Presence makes fans believe before the engine even starts. And presence makes the Supra a true supercar. The Japanese spirit burns through its veins.
Born from precision.
Perfected by passion.
Driven by relentless pursuit.
And that's why Europe should be nervous. Because Japan has returned with fire. And the Supra is leading the charge. This is no longer a game of catch-up. This is a new era.
En Eraware, the Supra does not juste belong in the conversation.
It defines it. It pushes Ferrari to innovate.
It force Porsche to défend.
It makes McLaren rethink. Because competition makes legends greater. And the Supra has arrived to elevate everyone. When you watch it battle on the track, the truth is undeniable. It doesn't flinch. It doesn't hesitate. It doesn't compromise. It strikes. It fights. It wins. And even when it doesn't, it earns respect. Because the Supra doesn't need to be perfect. It needs to be unforgettable. And it is.
Every rival knows it. Every fan knows it. And soon, the world will know it. The GR Supra Supercar 2026 is not chasing shadow.
It is casting its own. A shadow so long, so powerful, that even giants must step aside. And that is the ultimate victory. Not just to be fast. Not just to be precise. But to be legendary. The Supra is no longer the underdog. It is the equal.
The challenger. The disruptor.
The one that makes even the greatest supercars look twice. And that is what makes the 2026 Supra a true monster.